911 call center has a staffing shortage.
Yeah, that means that some emergency callers could be put on hold or get a busy signal when they try to get help. Our Paul Drews gives us the 411 on Oahu's 911 center.
Every day, emergencies happen, from fires to accidents and crimes, which means at Oahu's 911 call center, operators field emergency phone calls 24 hours a day, every day.
About 80,000 calls for service, people calling in 911 services a month.
911 police, fire ambulance.
Many are critical calls. Some are non-emergency ones, while about 15 to 20%, or about 12,000 of them, are dropped or abandoned calls, a number that's been steadily rising.
The volume of the abandoned call is increasing drastically.
These operators can't simply ignore dropped calls, but instead have to call the numbers back, which takes time away from answering other incoming calls.
When our operator calls you back, and make sure you answer it and just tell them, otherwise we're going to keep calling back, and also at the same time, if you don't answer, then we are required to send a police officer down to your location.
According to Sung, the popularity of smart devices may be to blame for the increase in abandoned calls, as watches and other devices can automatically dial 911.
Please learn how to use your smart devices and make sure when it dials, let it dial, and then when somebody answers it, rather than just hang it up, just tell them, hey, it was misdial, and then so we don't have to spend our time to call you back.
Abandoned calls aren't the only ones taxing the already overworked staff significantly. So are calls about towed vehicles.
Private vehicles being towed from the private lot, they still need to report it to Honolulu Police Department, so those vehicles can be tracked. So those type of calls takes a lot of our call takers' time.
Right now, there are 90 police communication officers, but they need 53 more. And because those hired now still have to go through 6 months of training before they can handle emergency calls, this staffing shortage will last at least through the end of the year. That means non-emergency callers may have to wait when calling 911, and when there is a major incident like a huge traffic accident resulting in many calls coming in, other emergency callers could also get put on hold or even get a busy signal.
So if you get the ringing sound, definitely stay online. But if you get the busy signal, definitely hang up and then try to redial. Because sometimes, depending on the carrier, it doesn't reach the 911 system, then we do not have your information. We cannot call you back and then find out what is going on.
The department wants to use an automated system to call back those abandoned calls, which would free up operators to answer other ones. But Sung also recommends people use the Honolulu 311 app or go online to reduce the number of 911 calls in the first place.
Non-emergency in nature, they can definitely report it. They go to honolulupd.org, and also there's a police report online, so they can click on that and they can report the incident, and then the investigator can call them back and then generate the police report that way too. So that's going to lessen the call volume coming into the 911 for emergency lines.
Paul Drews, Island News.